We need to talk about what happened in the Bitcoin market in this video because the current cryptocurrency market drop has been more severe than expected. I want to explain what just happened in this video during the FTX and COVID eras. Why has the price of every single cryptocurrency suddenly risen dramatically? I'd also like to address what this signifies for the market's future. How serious was the damage? All of that appears to be covered in this video, and then at the end, I'd want to change the subject and show you a brand new interview with Stuart Alderati regarding the current Ripple SEC case. Keep an eye out for the things that please you. He believes they are vital to the Bitcoin industry. I just noticed a large drop, and I'd like to start this video by discussing it because there is a lot of dispute about it. In terms of what caused it, I indicated earlier today in a tweet that there is no news in the market, so they want you. Many people are commenting on this, saying, oh, it wasn't news. For those of you who don't know, Evergrande is one of the biggest real estate developers in the entire world, as well as one of the biggest in China. They declared bankruptcy an hour after a sharp increase in cryptocurrency prices as a result, and many people speculated that Evergrande was to blame for the market's genuine crash, since Evergrande has been going out of business. Another unusual feature of this is that the market declined 1 hour after Evergrande declared bankruptcy. Normally, you would see the opposite. In my perspective, Evergrande declaring bankruptcy in the United States is a much bigger event than the Bitcoin market crash that also occurred today. Why Evergrande would demolish cryptocurrency prices honestly escapes me. Some argue that growing costs are due to Tether's ownership of a major amount of Evergrande's debt. The Tether pack, on the other hand, was never seen. As a result, it appears to me that the Bitcoin market is experiencing an internal problem rather than the Evergrande news having any relevance. It looks like market forces or individuals are attempting to wash people out through leveraged transactions and liquidation. People are taking notice of the volume of XRP. When this was occurring, it was just flourishing, and I wanted to show you guys because it was completely absurd. I was hoping to see this chart in this style for those of you. This is the third advancement using XRP, and it depicts every XRP transaction that occurs on the XRP ledger. I've been itching to see this chart at this point. When the volume of OBL was booming and the price of XRP was ripping skyward. Instead, because everyone was panicked and selling on exchanges, we saw this chart suddenly bursting, which, while not how I planned to see it, seemed quite ludicrous to do so in any event. If you visit this website regularly, you will notice a lot of activity. A lot is going on, but nothing quite like this. When I first saw it, I thought to myself, wow, this thing is crazy. Right now, I just want to show you. Furthermore, as I indicated in the opening, this was one of the largest liquidations combining FTX and COVID, and I don't feel the negative impact was as great. However, given the speed with which it transpired, as I previously stated, this thing has come crashing down, and many people are claiming that it is the result of Evergrande's demise. I don't believe it. Simply said, I don't believe that explains why XRP would fall. For example, why would Evergrande create XRP drop? I'm not sure what you're talking about. The primary reason for this, in my opinion, is that institutional adoption of cryptocurrencies is currently very high, and a decision on the Grayscale ETF is imminent. As previously said, this could pave the way for the approval of additional spot ETFs in the United States. Furthermore, we believe that an Ethereum futures ETF in the United States is on the horizon. What we're likely seeing is huge institutions getting aware that a significant shift in market sentiment toward cryptocurrencies is on the horizon. The market will change dramatically once they enter it and are permitted to sell items to consumers. This industry is still in its early stages. Both large money and the casual investor have yet to come, and those who merely invested money and disregarded it all will ultimately convert that cash into cryptocurrencies. However, in the Bitcoin business, things progressed differently than in other areas of retail. Investors were permitted to participate. Institutions typically enter the market first because they must construct these markets before allowing normal investors in after the market as already inflated. Cryptocurrency's decentralized structure compensates for this, and as a result, retail was able to enter the market without the necessity for institutional permission. As a result, institutions are now urgently attempting to enter. What else do they need to genuinely participate in the game? Significantly low prices are required. As a result, I believe that much of what we're witnessing right now is institutions realizing that cryptocurrencies are here to stay and that they must begin creating a significant position, or else they will be left on the sidelines. These institutions have easy access to market control, which is exactly what we're seeing now. These institutions appear to be making desperate attempts to re-enter the market to survive. To reduce their cost base, they are lowering prices, liquidating retail traders, and making far larger stakes in these markets. One of the key reasons I am sure is that the XRP price chart suggests that things are not as bad as they appear. What we saw was that XRP plummeted unusually far, all the way to $0.41 before immediately recovering. Rising back to $0.50, this suggests that many major buyers were there at these lower levels, indicating that the cannibals were not falling and falling. And instead, falling to the institutions caused a major sell-off, allowing them to later repurchase these assets at much cheaper costs, which is why the present price rebound is so noteworthy. Now, one pretty remarkable thing is that we have before observed an occurrence identical to this, as evidenced by this graph. Ripple chronicled and tweeted what happened when XRP last went entirely parabolic. I'm referring to a 10 to 0 boost. This massive wick down was created with XRP. If you look closely, you can see that the massive wick on this candle, which reads XRP is dead, was made before the wick was eaten by an XRP. Began to experience exponential growth. We can see something quite similar happening right now. Had the same massive candle, perhaps another exponential run is on the way. However, it would fit well into the scenario if what we just saw was an institution using this as a buying opportunity to store up funds before a much larger move in the Bitcoin market. Of course, there is some guesswork here, but we can also see that traditional markets are doing extremely well when we look at them, because these factors do have an impact on the crypto market as a whole. And while we do have this drop right now, it is nothing compared to the massive upside rip we just saw. I honestly feel that the bull market is still alive and well, and that Bitcoin will finally begin to move. That is critical because many people are unaware that enormous amounts of money govern cryptocurrency. And the financial elite regard cryptocurrencies as risky. To feel comfortable investing in cryptocurrencies, large sums of money are required. The stock market has to be doing well. And for this reason, even if I don't talk about stocks very much, right now, I still like to show the total index chart on my channel. There is simply no scenario in which the stock market falls and cryptocurrencies rise. They now have a perfect correlation, which is exciting to see. Despite a recent fall, much like the cryptocurrency market, this decline is being quickly overcome. Furthermore, I don't feel it's anything significant. Hence, what I'm looking for right now is for XRPBN to rise again and begin to erase this candle. If that happened, I would start to get bullish that we might see another scenario, something like this, where institutions simply liquidated retail traders to gain greater exposure to the cryptocurrency market before a much larger event takes place. We are aware that certain major events are just around the corner. We are aware MasterCard and Ripple. Recently, we are aware that Bitcoin spot ETFs are on the horizon. All indications point to institutions preparing to make large investments in cryptocurrency. These organizations are not oblivious to the consequences. This will affect the price of cryptocurrencies. And if they haven't been exposed enough, developing plans for institutions, in my opinion, are manipulating this market to obtain more exposure to it, and they may have picked this headline regarding Evergranted for that reason. This news is so old that anyone taking it seriously is ridiculous to me. It was released more than a year ago. It has nothing to do with cryptocurrency. One coin that was reported to be impacted has not seen any changes. Institutions appear to have purposely depressed this market to re-enter it, and now they're blaming it on some unrelated macro concern. This brief conversation with Stuart Alderati is one of the best attorneys I've ever seen, even though this is completely off subject given everything I've been talking about in this video. It is critical, in my opinion, that we pay attention to him and take him seriously. Let us now perform Eldorado every time he talks about the Ripple SEC case. Mickle. For the time being, remove this video. However, consider this. What is Ripple's take on Judge Tora's judgment in favor of institutional buyers? Let me simply inquire about the implications of the first wave sale to those institutional customers. What, if any, impact does this have on whether the SEC will continue to classify XRP as a token in the future as a future security measure, in your opinion? Yeah, I don't think that SEC will ever be considered a security in and of itself. On that point, the court made a clear distinction. We won because I see she was defeated by a certain amount of security XRP.